Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It's
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you gotta get the Coffin skin. Hey, yo, and away we go. And I wish my throat wouldn't always gurgle like that when I start, but hey, life happens. Hey, everybody, how you doing here tonight? It is Mike the Ref here, Wednesday, April 2nd, round 2 today. There we go. Get rid of that there. AEW Dynamite Sidecast. WWE 2K24 25 my GM. My God, I got to start used to saying that a little bit more here, but yeah, how's everybody doing today? Nats, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going great for you tonight. Because, yeah, it is a little bit of a crazy day today. And, yeah, I don't know how many of you got a chance to join me or check out the Nintendo Switch Direct this morning. I'm so stoked right now, and I am so stoked for so many creators right now because there are a ton of creators who primarily work on the Switch that saw this and they're just overjoyed about everything that happened. So sorry, I was here. I was just not watching. I'm sorry, I was not streaming. I was watching. I laid myself out on my couch on Saturday, and once again, I do apologize that you didn't get to see it, but you know what? I'm calling myself the con man 167 of AEW, because every time he misses a show, some big debut happens. I miss a show, this happens. So, and yeah, Jay Quick saw the Switch. It's something I'll be picking up. I absolutely do yourself a favor if you are interested in getting it day one. If you have a Nintendo Switch Online account already, go to the Nintendo Canada website or wherever country you're from, Nintendo US. Sign up for the mail out. Because what they're doing is for their anti-spam, and this is like I'm really liking for it. And we're going to get into AEW here in just a minute, folks. But I'm really excited about this. To prevent basically scalping of these Switches, they've decided that in order to pre-order one of these, you have to have a Nintendo Switch account already, and before February, so they didn't announce anything about this, you must have had a Nintendo Switch account for a year and have played over 50 hours on your Switch, which if you played one game, that pretty much usually covers it without a problem. So I signed up earlier this afternoon, so we'll see when I get a chance to order it up next week or whatever way down the line. You get 72 hours once you get the email to indicate that you can order it. So, yeah, it's the beginning of a very fun week coming up here. So, but yeah, let's shift gears. Good job, Nintendo. Love that incentive. Hey, you know what? And it's fact that they didn't tell anybody the incentives, so nobody could farm an account. They could farm different issues, like JD from New York is saying Max is farming out fans for the Max site, or I bet he's saying that right now at this point. But yeah, if you haven't heard the news that came out earlier this week, reports are that that's why I said it, Nats. Reports are coming down now that the viewership of Max is reportedly around 40% of what is on television. So adding up the totals between the live TV and the online, there could be very well a million people a week watching AEW, which, what else can you say than that? Just, it's amazing. It's great. It's super. Get to watch this with you. I might even watch GM since I'm off tomorrow because of my birthday. Happy birthday in advance, Jay Quick. I just Let's get you the cheers in here. Wish you a happy birthday to Vance here, my friend. Hope everything goes spectacularly tomorrow for you. But yeah, the number was higher than the number of the NHL and Maxwell. The thing is, in the U.S., hockey is very close to not even being considered one of the big five, even in the U.S. In Canada, of course, I would say it's pretty close to number one. Even though we don't have any teams up here, NFL is pretty close to being there. So, but yeah, Jay Quick, I was looking over here when I turned my head here. I was looking at the run card for tonight that I see so far. Will Ospreay's back tonight, so we're going to see something that he's going to be involved in. I don't know if he's going to be on the pay-per-view. I would assume so, because he flies in now, works tonight, works tomorrow. Unless they're doing a double taping tonight. I think they might be doing a double taping tonight. Because the night before a pay-per-view, they're not running a show. So, they got Cope versus Claudio tonight. I'm assuming that might open the show. Because we got that John Moxley and Marina Shafir versus Swerve and Willow as probably the main event. And I'm assuming they're probably going to end up putting Marina and Willow on the card. They're going to have Penelope Ford and Toni Storm one-on-one after that attack on Collision, which we all saw. By the way, that GIF needs to be up as a regularly used GIF for the one where Toni Storm's coming into the camera and Penelope just comes from the side, just boom, right in the face. And yeah, they're announcing the Owen Hart brackets, which I feel that they're going to finish it off at Double or Nothing. Especially if they're going to announce it tonight, they're going to start it next week. I would almost guarantee that be the case. Yeah, Thunder Tits. Yeah, we had that last week, and it worked about as well as I thought it would. In other words, ew. But do I think Josh Alexander gets in the Owen? I think if he's going to be in the Owen, we're going to have it as a wild card. Heard they might start a Dynasty. Very well could. I would only put a couple matches on there. Depends if they got some kind of feud that they could put on there, right? If they start a Dynasty, great. I know that a couple people are pissed off that they got this $60 pay-per-view, which, by the way, if you bought it on Triller, you're basically watching it for $3 on Sundays. So when you go to the Dynamite on the 30th, you'll see Owen matches. You hope you'll see Owen matches. They could have the semis wrapped up by then. You never know. Yes, I'm being a smart ass and just trying to bug you about that. But no, I think you will. The draw's so wide open, I don't even want to speculate on who's going to be a part of that. So, could Josh Alexander get popped in there? Possibly, but I don't think so. Why would you, with a lineup that stacked, do you really need the wild card for an extra pop? I could see for international title, based on everybody that is involved right now. Like, for everybody in that international, like the 7 people besides that, I could see you wanting to go for a Speedball Bailey insert there, because you need that extra pop for the crowd that was there. Could see a return Jack Perry, very well possibly. Hey, Zodiac, how you doing it tonight? Hope you had a great day so far. I've had an absolutely fantabulous day. Plus, my coworkers at a convention were Sting and Joe Henry and others, so he said, "Get me excited for convention's birthday." There you go. We have the coin back, by the way. That's always great. Yeah, so quickly today, I'm actually doing a web series that I just worked on today. Just to give you guys a heads up. Had a decent job interview. Hope I end up there. Let's hope for a little bit of magic here, so let's throw that in. Did I make any more progress in MLB The Show? No, but I made progress on another game. I know a lot of you guys are fans of Remember the Game who showed up here. Adam advertised this on his podcast, or on the earlier podcast, so I feel free I can say this. Hopefully in the next week and a half, him and I are going to sit down, and I am currently doing a playthrough that will be YouTube exclusive of WWE Day of Reckoning. WWE Day of Reckoning, I am playing through the story mode. I got my first hour into it today. And it is a lot of fun. So Adam and I are going to be talking about that here in the next couple weeks. And yeah, you guys will be able to see the run through that I do on the story mode. I'm doing it offline, and then you guys can pop into Twitch to see it. They're doing the mixed tag first. Surprised that WWE is coming to the Switch? Not at all. With all God-given respect, that the Nintendo Switch 2 is essentially the equivalent to a PS4 Pro. Zodiac, all you have to do is ask. Like Chris, I'm sure Chris will. So is Cope and Claudio main eventing? There's one or two ways. Jay White got pumped out of the tournament. All right, there's your Josh Alexander spot. Hey, Zodiac, just for the record, I worked my way in. Anyway. Yeah, so no Jay White and the Owen Hart, so they're going to be moving things around tonight. There's a chance. But FTR will come out for the same. There's also a possibility tonight that Penelope and Tony could main event. Not that I would consider that a main event match, but pretty much every match since the pay-per-view, the women have main evented. Why would they change it now? Willow's got that. I'm going to dance right now, but not. I'm going to dance because I'm pissed. Tony's the face of AEW? Very well, could be. A lot of people consider Will Ospreay possibly that. This ain't a me match yet. Penelope has a ways to go, but I like her for two big reasons. There you go. I will throw that over there for you, Zodiac. I can smell what you're cooking. Seems like a hard worker and has some talent. Here's the thing with Penelope. You put her in a death match, and she'll be in her element. You put her in a regular match, she's serviceable. I'm not going to say perfect, but no, like the death matches, the hardcore matches. Oh, absolutely she was. That's where she learned about wrestling. Like, she started there as a fan and worked into a wrestler. She started as a fan. She never... Like, she didn't know much about wrestling, and then her first night that she went to a bunch of death matches. If she was a fan, she's a keeper. Yeah, well... I'm trying to remember if she was the one that originally went out with Janela before she went out with Sabian. Not that I really care about personal lives of wrestlers in terms of that sense. Whatever they tell us is fine. But yeah, she started as a fan of GCW, then go there. Yeah, there you go. Nah, it's not... I'm not completely crazy when I'm saying this. Like, she ended up... I think she ended up with Janela first. Yeah, Joey brought her in. And then they broke up. And then while she was off with injury, she met Kip. And they've been together and got married 3 days before they got married on AEW. In the middle of a snowstorm. Yeah, well, Miro debuted in the match following that, I do believe. Or no, that was that night. That's right. Which, by the way, Miro reportedly is signed with the Fed. And yes, I still call it the Fed. Because everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. All I can say about that is good on him if he has. I hope he's happy. My personal belief on what's going to happen with him, either they're going to treat him into a beast or they're going to turn him into, basically he's going to be another Andrade. Because after a few 2 or 3 feuds, he's... But I will say this. I do expect to see Andrade against Rey Fenix on Friday. You want to get somebody to get Fenix over at his debut? That would be the one to do it. But yeah, if they're gonna pay you to come in, why not? If you think you could, if you can get paid and contribute to the product, even better. I will say it was pretty dumb of Horn for Ricky Saints. I'm reserving my horn on Ricky Saints. And this has nothing to do with Ricky. I'm reserving my horn on Ricky Saints because of the NXT fans. Because if you guys watch the end of NXT this week and saw the finale where Ethan Page attacked Ricky Saints after the main event and the fans started chanting TK fucked up. Like, was that dumb? Should they have done it?
Sir, no, sir!
Did they really, because I'll guarantee you that, like, to be honest, Ricky Saints and... Oh, yeah, go ahead and dance there, Willow. Jeez. Drunk Netbeards and floor... Well... No, they were on the road that week. That's the weird thing about it. Yeah, Ricky never got a shot. Yeah, how many times? Multiple time TNT champion, multiple time tag champion. Like... I get it. Ethan Page might have been a bit of a ball drop, but he won the Owen. There you go. Main event versus MJF for the strap. But you guys are listed it, so I don't think we have to go on too long about it for the fact that we know that it was a complete screw up on their part. But I honestly think these two ladies here, Willow and Marina, are going to fight to the back, and we're going to get this match continue on Sunday. Like, we still have a whole bunch of matches to go. For what it's worth, I think MJF start... Like, don't get me wrong. Ricky's a great talent. Simply put, Ricky felt that he was going to get a better shot with his buddy Cody and the WWE, and in many ways, that could be a possibility. And that's, like, you look at different wrestlers, they've gotten the opportunities at other companies, right? Tony Storm, like we talked, the face of AEW. When she left Moxley has a conscience. Oh, damn. Probably would have gotten more shots if he didn't run around saying he was leaving. Well, yeah, basically. Like, think of it in any business you're in. You turn around and say you're leaving. You say you want to leave, say you don't want to be there, like, meh. Be like MJF and say, look, it's a business. Who knows? Exactly. So it'll be interesting who takes Jay White's spot. Well, we'll see here. Marita couldn't get her up. Damn. Thank God Willow did enough to get herself up so she didn't hurt herself completely there. Jesus. I think that deserves that. They tried to do a power spot with Marina, and she is not ready for that. Like, you could tell she wasn't able to get her hips underneath her. And that's the key to a good power bomb. You got to get the hips underneath so you can bring them up. Then when you bring them down, it lets gravity do the work. And Willow didn't have a base where she could push herself up to help. Because if you're on the edge of that ring apron, there's no room to move. Oh, yes, the sweep of the net. Yeah. Sorry, Nats. I watched the game in the background today after I finished on my filming on Day of Reckoning there, and yeah, it was an interesting game. Pitcher came in for an extra day just because he looked good in spring training. Ends up dominating. Oh, you guys were asking earlier about my MLB The Show. That caught stealing to end the game. Yeah, that was one of those.
You idiot!
I get it, you're in there to steal base, but to be the last out of the game, getting caught on second, getting caught trying to steal it there, just, not a good. So, by the way, for the record, I got to find some way to put it out here somewhere, but if anybody saw the April Fool's Day track that they had yesterday for MLB The Show, one of the things was to give up 20 runs as a pitcher. I am literally playing an exhibition game and literally not touching anything. I use classic pitching, so there's no button movements to hurt anything. And I literally just sat there and hit A for repeatedly. I had a no-hitter through 6 with 14 strikeouts. Literally not doing anything but touching the button. I'm like, how the hell is this happening here? Eventually, I did end up giving up 9, so I got a good roll on that so far. About halfway done that program, so I want to keep doing it because by the time we're done, we get the diamond versions of all those players you were playing. So the program team would kill it this year. Absolutely. Like, it is a fun game to have. We are going to be cutting back on it, though, on stream. We're going to be just one day a week. Oh, here we go. Tower of Doom with 2 men. Let's go. Willow's probably the one person that would be able to do that. The one that has the power to do that. So, seriously. Like, I don't think with any other woman in the division you would be able to would be able to really say that. Well, Megan Bain, of course, but that's a whole different ball of wax altogether. But all in all, that coworker is nice. He didn't have to get me to. Oh, absolutely. Statlander, yes, true. But in many ways, Statlander doesn't have the base that Willow does. Like, yes, Statlander's naturally strong, don't get me wrong. But Willow's just built big and strong. I call it farm strong in many ways. Because while Statlander's a little more thin on that, Willow being wide enough to handle both arms like that and getting a wide base on there. Yeah, Swerve took the worst, and it always will be. At least these guys are heating up this war here. So we still got to talk about the big announcements from AEW this week. Like, couple things. One, just a reminder for, I hope AEW will keep their Dynasty card. I think it's going to be 8. I think you might do 8 and 4. 8 during the regular show and 4 during the pre-show. Because they still have Double or Nothing in a month, right? But a couple extra announcements that came out today. Oh, no way. That's how you break it up. That hurts. So, just a couple things ahead of time so that you know. They announced that the week of WrestleMania, Collision will actually be on a Thursday night. So, basically it'll go Raw, NXT, Dynamite, Collision, SmackDown, Mania for wrestling that week. So, just take out TNA out of the mix and you put... they're going up against Impact, which seems to be like a little... I honestly feel that's the fight that's going to eventually happen. Because I do feel that once basketball's done on TNT, Collision will be moving to Thursdays. So, and I think you will get a real boost in fandom if that happens. So, and the other news that they made is... All In Texas is actually going to be a early start, 3 p.m. Eastern, versus a ROH. Probably it's a streaming service. You can put it on whenever you want, right? For all you care, you can put it on Monday mornings. All right. Well, Marina's dead. Marina ate the bullet. You notice that they're doing this so that they missed the table spot on Moxley by Willow. They missed the big spot. Damn it, production, you did it again. Mox still bites Swerve. He'll bite back, yeah. I like the fact that in AEW they're willing to take chances on matches like this. Like a mixed tag tornado style, so the men can actually interact with the women. And the way this group works makes a lot of sense, right? And Moxley just hit The Death Rider on Willow? Okay. Yeah, this feud is into overdrive now. That was good on you, Willow, for taking it, too. I really do hope that they don't do the stretcher thing with Willow, because if they do that, then this sort of diminishes the reason why you should do a match like this. Yeah, she'll be fine. She's getting up. She comes back heel? Nah, I don't think so. Oh, we're going to see Swerve wins on Sunday? I think so. Oh, by the way, folks, we are going to do a prediction show once again. We're just going to do it after Collision on Saturday. Saturday's going to be a little longer stream than normal. So we're going to do Collision. We're going to do our sidecast for Collision. We're going to do a prediction show for Dynasty. And then we're going to do 2 weeks of WWE 2K25. By God! STG, how the heck you doing tonight? However, always a however. Rage Quit Tekken 8 after the new Season 2. Takes a little bit of patience. That's what I find. When it comes to patches and they come in. Same thing with 2K20. Like, we're playing MLB The Show, right? I've been playing Tekken for 24 years. Legit pissed. I haven't played it yet, so I can't really answer that. And I'm an average player at best, so... The fact that they've changed things around, that people have to basically relearn the game, I understand the frustration. But it also proves the best players can adapt. What is that romper that, is that a shout out to Princess Peach that Renee's wearing? Fine with relearning, it's just the mechanics are janky. Okay, fair enough. Me, I want to buy 2K25. Me, oh, I need new tires. That's fair, Zodiac. Like, best players will adapt because the money's there. For what? Yeah. For Tekken World Tour, I just think Renee is cute right now. Absolutely. Well, she always is. It's just... And breaks, yeah. Oh, they're doing it early. So they doing Cope and Claudio as the main? But usually when you play a game as a job, you usually like it as well. Yeah, fair enough. No, go ahead, STG. Don't have to ever question whether I need to ask a question. Or phrase it as like, I always treat every question serious. But yeah, just, I got to ask you guys something. How do you feel that AEW's been on a roll? Why is AEW starting their pay-per-view for All In so early? There's multiple reasons. One, the success of All In has been contingent on an early start. Where did you hear 12 p.m.? Oh, no, it's 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Yeah, 12 p.m. It's always been contingent on the early start so that the with the English crowd. Like what? Previously it started at 10 a.m. Mountain, so 9 a.m. your time or PST. BCT. Fair enough. I'll give you that. I'll give you a coin for that. But yeah, just maybe you should take a trip down the pipe, come down here to Alberta, get an extra hour's sleep. There's another reason for that, and it's another case of, and this is what I was talking about earlier with Collision during WrestleMania week is being moved to the Thursday rather than trying to go up against WrestleMania, because anybody who's an idiot would go against that. So just a heads up, that week of WrestleMania, our stream schedule is going to be a little bit all over the place just because we are going to have a Wednesday night and a Thursday night. My place of employment is opening a branch in Edmonton. There you go. Maybe there. Well, you know what? All the people deserve to get good places. So, but yeah, if you didn't know, STG, WWE is running Saturday night's main event the same day as All In from San Antonio, Texas. Yeah. Which they're going to run All In the afternoon. So then 5 p.m. Eastern, you got Saturday night's main event. They're not going to clash with each other. Wrestling fans can be happy. And TK is a lot more flexible than Triple H is. And deservedly so, because Triple H, well, even though the booking is suspect as bet, okay, so they don't compete with Saturday night's main event, so people don't have to make a choice more than anything else. But yeah, I would assume that the majority of the reason is so that it don't compete with Saturday night's main event. But the other one is afternoon on a Saturday in July. I know a lot of people will try and do stuff, but they also like to do stuff on Saturday nights. And I'm assuming there might be a UFC card coming around that weekend too, so. They also did announce StarCast for the weekend. They also announced Death Before Dishonor will be Friday night before. From the esports theater that was running so well last year. And they're also running Collision and... here's the rumor. The rumors are true. Ospreay, Kevin Knight. Okay, that'll be a New Japan great one. Wild card. Brody King and Takeshita. That'll be awesome. Briscoe and Fletcher. Thanks for coming out, Mark. Hangman and Wild card. Wild card. Could that be Josh Alexander? Or who hasn't been around forever? That's the other thing. Because I don't think Hangman and Wildcard sounds like Tibu Taro. I'll give you that. We're getting King and Archer tonight as an extra match. Hater and Stark's going at it again. Thunder Rosa and Statlander. So that Harley Cameron, Athena, Julia Hart, Mercedes. Some of these matches are confusing to me, but I did mention that Double or Nothing probably is going to be the final. Which makes sense this year because, well, they're not going to be able to do it in July in Alberta. You tuned out Mercedes? Well, you're going to be tuning her back in when you see her taking on Athena and Julia. Unless she loses, I just assume it's an auto win. There's a possibility we could be getting Athena and Mercedes in the semifinals. We're not even going to get it as a pay-per-view match. Athena Starks for the final. I'm going to be Frank. I'm going to be Mike, but, you know, there's... I think the winner is going to be Jamie Hayter. I think for the women, it's going to be Jamie Hayter because when Toni Storm wins a Dynasty, we're probably going to end up with Jamie and Toni. Because I don't think you're going to run Athena and Mercedes and Cameron teaming up. Yeah, like, well, it's face heel versus face heel. It's the same side of the bracket facing each other, right? Like, two people that are going to be facing off against each other are going to be teaming up this week. Friends or enemies, you know that trope we hate in WWE? They're doing it in AEW. Oh, this GIF right here. This GIF needs to be alive forever. Just the face coming into everything. Go for the camera and everything. It just works out perfectly. So much fun. Yeah, I really don't expect much out of this match. I expect Megan Bayne to show up, and plus if White wasn't taken out, it would have been White versus Ospreay in the first round. Kevin White being the first alternate isn't the worst pick in the world. And the fact that Kevin Knight gets to work with Will Ospreay in his first match as an officially signed AEW wrestler, because he did officially get signed after his match against Jay White. Oh, initial thoughts of the switch too? I love it. I love it. I think economies of scale, we are going to be paying the right amount for it. I know it's expensive, but video games should have been more expensive a long time ago. We have been paying cheap prices for how long now? I get it. It's tough with everything going on in the economy these days. Yeah, those brackets are stacked, and I did manage to watch the direct live and just some of the games that are coming out. Price is off-putting. I still have my original. Here's the other thing. If you have a family at home, and the one thing I like about the presentation, I've already reserved. I did that I did an hour before stream started. So, man's on the Switch. I'm getting it on, if I want to play it, I can play it on Xbox for free. Same thing with college football right now, because I do have Game Pass, which includes EA Play. And I haven't had to pay for Game Pass for a year and a half. Mike putting his $5 down on pre-order. No, I ordered directly off the site because of the new rules. That's the one thing that I'm really enjoying is the new rules for signing up for the Switch here. Yes, I know we're going to get back to AEW, but this has been a very big day all the way around. So, we talked about it at the beginning. The anti-piracy rules for Switch ordering now. You have to have a Switch Nintendo Online membership for a year. You have to have 50 hours on the Nintendo Switch. And then when you sign up for the list, they send you an email. And full payments required off the bat. I'm fine with all three of those. Stupid hiccups. Hopefully it's the best way to get rid of scalpers, but for me, it's just a lineup of games that we're going to be playing. Like I mentioned it, we'll talk about it in a little more detail later, but I did announce what we're going to be playing as our final Switch game before the Switch 2 comes out. I didn't mention the first game we're going to be playing on the Switch 2 because it's getting a free add-on to it. And I haven't played the original yet, so we'll get to that later on here, but just the games coming in. Like, Switch has loaded us up. When's the release, Jay? June 5th. That Mario Kart, yeah, 21 or 24 people per round. The fact that you could basically stream off your Switch now, essentially. It's creating an OBS scene for you on your TV, so you can literally put that on the OBS and run. And you can chat in game, which finally got themselves here. I'm just happy I held off on buying a second Switch. The one thing I was saying, in many cases, for a lot of the games, they're allowing you to, if you buy it on the Switch 2, you're allowed to share it out onto the Switch 1 through that digital sharing program, right? So, like at OSTG, you talked about getting another one while you have a Switch 1 here. If you have a family member at home that wants to play, you could always give them the Switch and then let them play whatever they want on that. So now we just need to get AEW Fight Forever on the Switch 2 now, right? Wish it had it. 512 gigs of storage. All makes me wonder how big the games are going to be now as well, right? Because they're talking about the extra room. But what about how big are the games compared to how much extra storage they're giving? Waste of money? It was a good idea. And when I play, like I mentioned here, I'm playing Day of Reckoning for the GameCube for upcoming edition of Remember the Game. The gameplay is quite similar to what Fight Forever has. Is Tony giving Penelope tongue? Sorry to interrupt that, but SRS tweeted that the Jay White injury is legit where he needs surgery. Ah, frick!
No, please, no.
Followed up with a... At least we had Kevin Knight as a good replacement here right now, but that's like, what? A year of storytelling pretty much down the toilet again? Wish I had a flush down the toilet set. Well, maybe I should get one of those. No, what I'll do is I'll get the Nitro theme, but I'll have that as a flush down the toilet sounder. If you guys aren't familiar, we are 2 weeks away. 2 weeks. Dos. From Dynamite taking over Nitro as the longest running show on TBS. It's going to be overtaking Nitro, and Eric Bischoff's mentions are going to be going through the roof for that day on social media, with every single AEW fan wishing him well. I believe wishing him well and get fucked will be the two things going on. 2 weeks for Eric Bischoff needing a shrink. I think he's the one that's going to need one of these. Get him a warp pipe out of here. No, after this week, I'm pretty sure that I really can't... I can't take 95% of what wrestlers, former wrestlers, legends, as they would call it, I can't trust most of what the legends say anymore. And the big one for me right now is what happened to Bret Hart this week. See, this is a section here where I say Penelope's okay when it comes to hardcore matches because she doesn't have to pull off that choreographed setup, right? when you play wrestling, as Bret Hart puts it. Like, it pissed me off when I heard that from Bret, because they just announced today 2 tournaments in his honor. Like, seriously. Oh, here comes Megan. Oh, sorry, Zodiac, my bad. I'll throw an extra one in there for that outfit. Yeah, that Bret Hart stuff, Bree, the company that named the tournament in your brother's honor. I will say that when it comes to in his bro's honor, maybe he doesn't like his bro's wife. That whole family is a bunch of carnies. And that's something well known in Alberta. Like, Stu taught his kids well. They're all, like, pretty much a bunch of carnies all together. And if it involves money, which, let's face it, he's going into the Hall of Fame this year once again for him and Austin in that match at WrestleMania 13. You could pretty much get buried for anything.
Do you have any kind of a medical update on Willow right now?
No. Willow, she's strong. She's powerful. She's brave. That's why, honestly, I didn't mind facing off against the Death Riders tonight with her. In the ring with
Oh, there's Megan. I need to get some lubricant for my throat.
professional wrestling. She welcomed the challenge. John, knowing the history of neck issues that Willow has, you still chose to do what you did tonight. Now you're on the hunt. I'm not resting until I have my hands
Penelope had, she had a few
Philadelphia.
rough spots. Don't get me wrong. That's the best way to put it. But, yeah, she's okay. She's serviceable. That's why I said serviceable.
Will have my hands on John Moxley. I promise you.
Okay.
We'll do our best to provide more.
Renee is just trying to be professional here because she knows what happened. Oh, Jesus. We're once again getting partners. Will they coexist before the tournament, right? I still wonder, why are you doing Cope and Claudio as your main event? Respectfully, when you're doing a go-home show for a main event, you want your main event to entice people to want to buy the pay-per-view, right? Look, Renee doesn't care. Mox has repeatedly slammed her against the window. For lack of a better term, that's the way we put that there. Ooh. Renee might want to discipline. I don't even want to think about that either. Come on now. That's not stuff I want to. That's not stuff I need to get into here. Let's leave that stuff at home. Think she liked it? Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. But yeah, just like I said, it confuses me a little bit. Unless they're going to announce a match for the pay-per-view between Cope and Christian going into this, because the only other thing that we have going on involved in that match is that trios match that they're going. Are they going to be highlighting the trios match here as the main event spot going into the pay-per-view? I would think you'd want to put your hottest feud at the end there. So that's why I actually thought that Penelope and Tony might main event tonight, but a little confusing about things are going. But the thing about AEW right now, and I think we all could say this, in terms of the booking, even if you do book some stupid spots here and there in terms of which person goes here and which person does that and which match card order we go in, they're getting great matches and the feuds are starting to develop pretty decently. For people that are casual and don't watch consistently, yeah, you might get lost in the shuffle a little bit here about what's going on, but it's not that hard to get back into it. Eric Bischoff turn your mentions off and your TV and photo. Who knows? The other thing is he might like the attention. I guarantee you there's going to be a podcast about it because he can give his thoughts about AEW succeeding longer. And he can find some way to bury him in some way that, standards are lower back then and they had to go to a Wednesday where nobody else is working. And there's a million different ways you could spin it. And the more people that go to listen for Eric Bischoff's comments, the more he wins. Don't ask Brett. Well, no, slip him a 50 and ask him for thoughts when he's in character. The other thing I want to say about Bret Hart, and this, I've heard this from many people, and I'm just speaking as somebody who lives in Alberta and has dealt with independent wrestling here in Alberta when it comes to that. All right, here's the schedule that they were talking. I'll go back to Bret Hart in a second here. So yeah, they're running Wednesday, Thursday for Collision there too. I love that logo, Death Before Dishonor. And I love the early start time because Saturday nights are going to be free and easy for all of us. I'm glad they got everything out now, got it out of the way. It's close. They probably had this announced for a while now, but they haven't been able to. They didn't want to announce it until pretty much plans were set for the other company. But no, when it comes to Bret Hart, he really is a good guy. That Zodiac, that's rough. That is rough.
Time out.
I'm sorry. That one's a little rough, but funny. I'll give you a reserve funny on that one. But no. Brett is actually a real class guy and a real good guy to be around. It's just sometimes in wrestling when he gets, he's told to do something, he'll do it kind of thing, right? So. And the fact that he emphasized that AEW is more play wrestling rather than wrestling when the company that he's working with right now that's putting him in a Hall of Fame is specializing in playing. I really wonder what it would have been like if AEW had the start that WWE had, and basically if the things were reversed, that AEW was the company that ran for the last 50 years, and WWE was the upstart trying to create these stories like this. Uh-oh. MJF, I'd be a little worried right now. Bobby's not wearing a tie. No Shelton tonight. Yeah, well. Makes me wonder, MJF, you don't want the smoke, huh? The guy looks stunned when he wouldn't sign a sign. That is hilarious. Oh, don't. MJF's favorite sound on my board. Guaranteed. That's his favorite one. Especially with fans. So, what are we doing? MJF being added to the Hurt Syndicate here? Bobby looks like he wants to fillet. They're already...
I'm talking.
Like, literally, let them get through this first.
Interruption, but if we're being honest here, you kind of disrespected me last week, didn't you, Bob? But you know what? I'm gonna let it slide because you're my main man, Montel, and you don't know me the way Montel knows me. So allow me to formally introduce myself.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Max.
Jacob Friedman, MJF. And I am a generational talent, and I know about you all too well. I also know about the gold standard, Shelton Benjamin. Shelton, I know you had some travel issues today because of the weather. I love you, big man. I'll see you down the road, okay? I hope you're great.
Out in Arkansas, there is
We all know about Bob.
a major tornado warning, I do believe. So with that going on, you know, if you're in Minnesota, it might be a little bit tough to get out to Illinois because I think they're in Peoria tonight.
On the block I built. Now, I know this place like the back of my hand. I know how to get to the top, how to stay on top for a record-breaking reign. And I can help you and Shelton hold on to those tag team titles as long as your cold hearts damn well please. And cards on the table. I know you guys can help me too. I know you can help me get back what is rightfully mine, my AEW World Championship.
The Triple B. Surprised he hasn't called the Triple B there.
Basically what I'm getting at here, Bobby, is MJF in the Hurt Syndicate. It's just good business. Montel knows it. I know it. Hell, even these mouth breathers in the Midwest know it.
He's trying to turn the fans, but the fans still cheer for him. Sort of, it's not surprising, really.
Talk to me when Peoria ever mattered, ever, okay? Let's fight down. This isn't even a real place. This isn't even a real place. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Get to your point.
What I'm getting at is this. You might not want MJF, but Bobby, you big beautiful bastard, you need MJF.
MJF's gonna die, isn't he? He's gonna die very quickly, isn't he?
Let's be real clear here. Out of respect for MVP, I'm not gonna
Oh, he flubbed.
right here, right now. I want you to know, I don't like you. I don't trust you.
Uh-huh.
And the Hurt Syndicate damn well does not need you. So unless you prove otherwise, you need to get out of this ring and you need to get out of my face right now. Gentlemen, thank you for the time. Montel, thank you for the time. Peoria, I wish I could say thank you, but I'm gonna head out of here because you all stink. Thanks.
Sorry, chat. Just wanted to adjust that a little bit. It's been bugging me for a little bit. Now that I remember how to do that. Get the text a little bigger so you can actually read it. MJF is not the smartest person in the world, but... All right, chat. I'm going to give you 3 options. Let me know what you think. Oh, God. Sorry, I'll get to my 3 options here in a second, but... Oh, there we go. Hey guys. We don't see Jericho tonight, which actually I feel is a bonus. The fact that we're getting Bandito... We're getting a Bandito versus Jericho mass versus title match coming up, so... Ah, yes, got a drink from the learning tree. Where the hell did you two come? Oh, God. Drink for the knowledge of the learning tree. I got to feel this is going to set up for a match on Sunday. I would run. Take the count out loss. I don't care that you wouldn't get paid. This match went on for a lot longer than I thought it would. I'd be walking out right now. Big Bill just ripped both of them apart like nothing. Don't have to be impressed. Those two guys are jabbers. I think Zodiac and McGee, the tag team, would do better than that. Their ass. There you go. There's the announcement. At least we're getting a better pay-per-view match. At least that'll be better than the Outrunners. Big G and Zodiac tag team on 2K25 confirmed. Have we signed? For my GM, no, because we can't add to the roster after we started. My universe, well, for those that don't know, I am secretly working on a project. I won't go any further than that. So they're doing Owen Hart matchups. I don't feel bad about that. That's how you can fill up the put some filler matches in between, right? Tough.
You just need to stay out of my way on collision. You got this? You got this? Good. Good to see you! Yes. Excellent. We've got the perfect name. The Money Rat Train.
Money rat. All right. Well, that's okay. This is going to be pure comedy. Now, Mercedes and Athena were hooking up in a ring. No, Taz, you want a beer puppet. That's different. What the
hell was that?
STG, if you haven't... Have you been familiar with the feud between Mercedes and Harley? Going into Grand Slam. That was wrestling! Going into Grand Slam, Harley and Mercedes were feuding, and basically Harley had to find a way to make Mercedes... Yes, sir. Best crusty lie. There you go. But yeah, just... I think it was not bad. I like a good comedy segment. I love seeing Harley. I think we all do. Remember the build on that? I was more commenting on Mercedes. Mercedes will always be that cringe where she's probably inside trying to hold back her laughter through the whole thing. If you do remember during the build, she actually broke a couple times. So now we're getting Kevin Knight and Ospreay on the same team again tonight. It's nice to see Kevin Knight get some pop here at AEW. The fact that he got signed. I do find it funny, and, you know, once again, this comes under that category we were talking earlier about can't trust veterans' opinions. Booker T talking about no black wrestlers being on top in WWE right now. It's because there's no black wrestlers good enough to be on top of WWE right now. And the fact that he doesn't think that they dropped the ball on a whole bunch of them. Apparently, Kevin Knight had a tryout with the Fed, and they wanted to sign him, and he just said, no, I'd rather go to AEW. There is a bit of a different feel between the two, of course, between work rate and... Like, I find the storylines are a lot simpler in AEW. I love the fact that Ospreay looks up the trot. He's like, hey, I like ice cream. And Mr. Julian Hart. Really decent athlete. Blake's actually one of the, like, out of GCW and that, and he's always been one of those great ones that come out of there and just, he's been a standout in ROH, and I like the fact that they're bringing these ROH guys in. They might not get a lot of victories here coming here, but just getting the exposure right now, getting to feel what it's like, getting to feel what's going on. And Ospreay's doing the thumbs down, of course. I don't know what that is. I'm hesitant on the WWE black wrestler point. They aren't shy of promoting non-white wrestlers, like the entire bloodline. Fair enough.
Will Ospreay, though, not a fan of Blake Christian or Lee Johnson, but well, he has something in common with the audience.
I think Booker T's starting to possibly think that there are levels to this stuff, right? And it's like, it's a hard topic to get into, right? Because, you know, I'm like the antithesis of who could be the source of complaining about stuff like that, right? Like, if you want to talk about stereotypes, I'm pretty much in almost every single line of getting the advantages lines, so I really can't say a whole lot.
Between Fletcher and Ospreay and their former friendship and all that jazz. That was a battle for sure in Los Angeles. And they both take risks.
These two almost look like twins, don't they? Blake Christian and Ospreay, except, you know, Blake hit the tanning booth today. And that's what I can see back. Not saying he isn't happy, but I also see Roman Reigns and Jey Uso are getting who's match and reaction. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jay, while I think he's going to get his pop, just... It'll still burn me the fact that he isn't going to get that main event spot at Mania. Just fishing. Oh, fair enough. Ovechkin, well, he's going to break Gretzky's record. He's expected to do it against the Islanders in a couple weeks, but I'd love to see him get it done faster. But he's just been on a tear. It's been a credit to him this year with the fact that he's been injured so much. The team is ready. Well, I hope so, because, well, that division's pretty much easy, but especially compared to the West. Missed 16 games. Yeah. Like, I think right now he's 16th in the league in, he's like top 10 in scorings already, with being out for 16 games. Ospreay's just having the time of his life right now.
Sure, that's driving Don nuts. I would encourage no one to do that.
Excalibur. We encourage you not to drive him nuts. To do it at 39 years old, yeah, he's an old fogey. Oh, and a spear right to Ospreay. Blake looking very comfortable there. That's one thing I've really enjoyed seeing here. It's the fact that he does look like that's one of the biggest things you have when you have people that come up from like development, whether it be developmental, your second brand, different promotions that are considered as big. It's the fact that you have wrestlers that don't look comfortable in the spot. Like, you know, they could do the work because they've done the work. They've done the work on a smaller scale. Now they got to bring it up to a bigger scale, and they have to remember that what they did down there is what's going to make them successful up here. There's always adjustments, yes, but for the most part, when you're dealing with like a performance-based program like wrestling, doing what you did down there will help you, you know, if you keep doing what you did down there to get yourself over, you can get over just as well being up here. You just got to be able to take it on a more dramatic scale one way or the other. Like, listen to the audience. See what's getting you over. See what's not. All right, let's see here. Yeah, so Fightful, I just got the post from Fightful as well here. Switchblade Jay White's injury that forced him out of the Owen Hart tournament is legitimate, expected to undergo surgery. Of course, they're not saying which one. Sorry, I'm getting into online fights that I don't really need to get into, but well, your chat, you could discuss this with me here. Guys are complaining about the pay-per-view price again. Is there any other place where you're getting this caliber of wrestling for a streaming service? Like, I think the only two streaming services that consistently have pay-per-views, or the only three, TNA Plus, WWE, and New Japan. Is there really anybody else? Like, everybody else, I pretty much guess you consider small time anyway. Because, like, IWTV is literally that. It's independent wrestling TV. Triller, same thing. Oh, there's that spot. There's the spot everybody wanted to see. The jump over the top like that. Go down the ropes. Now Ospreay's fire. Whoa, Ospreay's awake. So is Ospreay going to be taking out Kevin Knight on the Dynasty card? Because they said that the tournament's going to start on Dynasty. Are we just going to get like 4 matches on the card like that? Ooh, that was a good one. Christian showed that he could actually put a lot of stuff in here. I'm impressed. Well, there's your reversal there. Don't lick your hand. You're going to boot you in the face. Are they letting Kevin Knight get the pin? All right, hot tag number 2. Oh, try to finish things up. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, God. This is going to suck. Jesus. That was awesome. That was pretty nice. Poison Rada because of that? All right, you're done. So the flying forearm is his finisher, by the way. I forget what they call it, but that is his typical finisher. I guess him and AJ Styles would be a hell of a tag team together. So they're going to announce that they're going to be facing off a Dynasty.
These two gentlemen will face one-on-one in the first round of the Owen Hart Cup tournament. We got a big announcement. Your match in the Owen Hart Cup tournament will take place this Sunday at Dynasty.
So Kevin Knight is actually getting a pay-per-view match already. That will be fun. All right, this is going to be an awesome battle for the pay-per-view. Oh. Well, this got serious. Ospreay giving Knight his props here. All right, Ops, what do you got for me here? Speak to me. Okay. Somebody's getting their ass kicked tonight. Can't wait for Sunday night. Samoa Joe is going to rip somebody's heart out. Maybe throw him into a blender. Maybe put some pirate piss on it. I don't know what we'll do there. So yeah, in terms of builds of the pay-per-view, I'll talk about a little bit more on the preview show on Saturday. I honestly feel that the build-up for this card has been a little blocky. We have only had 4 weeks to put it together, which sort of makes sense in many ways. So yeah, when you put things together like that, when you put together things like this, it's very hard to develop storylines that'll last for that amount of time. But it's working. Like, they're getting good matches here. But pretty much every match is looking to be a good match. I'm thinking on the women's side, I wonder if they'll redo Starks and Hayter on the pay-per-view. I wonder which women's match you're going to fit into the pay-per-view there for that. If not two. Because I think Mercedes and Julia would be a hell of a match to put on the pay-per-view as well. I think Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher would probably be a good pre-show match. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go that far in terms of accomplishments, but you never know. Well, yeah, as they put everything together, like, we'll get a little more solidified card when it comes to Saturday, and I'm sure they're going to add a couple more on Saturday just to finish things up. We're going to hear about it on Friday. They'll have the show graphic up, the poster graphic for everything, so I'm assuming we'll get everything okay, but we'll see how things go here. And one thing that is guaranteed that AEW always puts on a great card. Really, no matter what, he puts on a great card, so. Oh. Oh, it's Daredevil commercial. Sorry, chat. I don't know what you guys get for commercials in the States. We've been blessed with a few decent commercials every once in a while. Like they're showing Daredevil coming back on Disney Plus every once in a while. Then it automatically cuts to a Mary Brown's commercial because Lord knows we can't get anything good up here. Oh, that's why it's Mary Brown's, because Mary Brown's is sponsoring Daredevil. That deserves an Orange Cassidy thumbs up right there.
Welcome back to AEW Dynamite. The action continues, and so does the violence.
Oh, Brody's ready to kill. Mary Brown's has potential, but their chicken's unseasoned. Yeah. I actually prefer their chicken over KFC. Just because there's a lot more moisture to it. Because you know what? Best things in life are extra moist, right? Kevin Knight is a rising star. Absolutely. Well, if you've been watching New Japan for a while, he's been a very consistent member of the IWGP Tag Team Champions. Moist, eh? Yeah, absolutely moist. I just enjoy using the word on the channel here because, you know, got to scare people as you go across here, so.
Big meat matchup we got in front of us here tonight, right? Big meat matchup. Let's go, man.
Everybody dies. Yes, the batter's good for the chicken and burger and such, just no seasoning, yeah. Where KFC has a little too much, yeah. So this match here, meat. Oh my God. Don's twin, and he just tried to piss him off.
That's just his face, which is nothing new. Don, I thought you were sitting in the front row. No, what did you say to your admirer over there? I just warned him. I don't care for this. This is like people think they're mocking me. This is not a bit of a platter, and I'd like you to stop. I don't think they're mocking. I think they're just...
I think they're going to get an entire section there. Fantastic Dynamite. Yeah, like, to set up for... Here's a question for you, chat. Will this show entice you to buy the pay-per-view if you haven't already? I really do hope that all you have already, but if you haven't, will this incentivize you to buy the pay-per-view? Personally, I think you should buy it so you can watch it with me here. Which, by the way, we will be here once again. Probably start around 7 p.m. Eastern, a little earlier. Get it regardless. Thanks, Prime. Yeah, well, Prime still costs you money. It's same thing like the ESPN deal. They're going to charge you regardless, right? One thing I would like, and cheaper than regular paper, fair enough. One thing I would like to see with this, and let me throw this idea out here with you guys. I don't know if you've seen the watch-alongs that they do here for movies on Twitch, where you actually have the streamer up in the one corner and the show on a main screen, or like a big part of it. I really wish that if they're going to get the deal with Amazon, that we would be able to do that for Amazon hosted pay-per-views. So literally you could watch the pay-per-view on the same screen as watching me. Archer, you're here to get Brody a win to get him into the pay-per-view regular, right? What we always think of Don, yeah. People will be jackasses and show that show the story. Well, that's the thing. If you have that option available, you actually can't show the show on stream on your end. You literally, your camera will be so small it won't matter. It's like two separate cameras. Like, essentially the way it works is, if you're watching on Twitch, sorry if you're watching on YouTube, it's a little different, but you know up top on the on top right where it shows the top gifters of subs and the top bits and all that stuff, that gets replaced with my camera or whatever seat I have set up at OBS. That gets replaced in that corner. Then the pay-per-view literally goes into where you're watching me right now. Like you're able to do with movies. I've done it before. There's a documentary on Canadian Wrestling Elite on Amazon that I did a watch-along for here on the channel. It's really neat, and it's really fun to do. Meet forever. But yeah, that's the one thing I wish we could do. If I would pay extra for the Amazon streaming of the pay-per-view compared to what I pay on Triller. I would pay the extra just so I could watch it in that case. So big tornado outbreak going on in lower 40. Yeah. And that apparently is the reason why Shelton couldn't make it today, because the travel issues are causing havoc on airports and that. So yeah, best wishes to everybody going through the tornadoes, and just hoping that everybody's safe. And if you are in an area where a tornado's around and you're still in a safe position and you're here watching, I appreciate you. And hopefully we can take your mind off things for a few hours and basically tell everybody to go screw Don Callis for a little while. This is a callus-free zone. The only calluses we have around here are on my feet from working too much. But, yeah, it's been... My dad's side of the family live in Peoria, where AEW's at. Oh, nice! Should have got them all to go to the show. We'll double the crowd size tonight. I kid. We got a pretty good crowd here tonight. Pretty loud crowd, too. Which turns things up pretty good here, so... I'm a repairman. To put it very bluntly, I repair car washes. So... I used to be in retail management, but now my job's been molded over to retail repairman. So, work for a local car wash company here in Edmonton. So, technically they call me a manager, but we never do management things. So, repair is greater than management. I will sum that up in one sound. Yeah, we used to be managers, but when people who don't work in there actually tried to restructure everything, turns it into a different job. Well, you know, some of that stuff gets taken away. So... No, SDG, the reason I'm usually more calm than anything else is the fact that I spent 25 years as a referee. Like, this isn't a gimmick. I used to be a referee. But yes, absolutely, money talks. That's why I've been here for 12 years for my current job, so. But yeah, I was a referee for 25 years. I have had AEW-sized crowds all chanting for me to die in unison in matches, where you're literally standing on a platform that's literally maybe that big in front of 4,000 people all chanting for you to die. Watching wrestling and dealing with some of the online comments that come around here, it's nothing compared to that. I love how Shivani tries to break everything up real quick here for all the stupid stuff that was going on here.
See that from him. But Brody's athletic. He certainly is. That's what made that so effective as Archer. Did not expect that in the least.
Always like to tell me and others that we're wrong.
The cover, 1, 2. Archer able to kick out. Good toughness by.
I don't really like to tell people when they're wrong. I bring facts up that might contradict an opinion, but 95% of the time when we're talking here, everything's opinions, right? I might think something's going to happen, but you think something else is going to happen. We might both be right. It doesn't mean we're wrong. We have different opinions how things go. I like banter. Yeah, that's exactly it. We all have a democratic right to be wrong, and I've expressed that many times on my own. It's like every time we get every time we think we're going to have a peaceful resolution between WWE and AEW, we get another screw job everywhere. I want wrestling to see as a whole. I'm no tribalism guy. I don't think any of us are here. If I like it, I'll say it. If I don't, I'll say it. That's the thing I'm with here. I don't mind. Here's the thing, and this goes back to, I think it was about 4 months ago. It's the last time I banned somebody from my socials and this channel. If you're going to come in here and you're going to say you don't like the product and you won't give a reason why, and you just want to sit here repeatedly and just bash AEW for just saying that WWE is the only product, you will get banned. If you're going to come in here and say you like the storylines, you like the WWE storylines, you like the WWE characters, you like the WWE style of PLEs, fine. I don't mind that one bit. But just coming in here to say you don't like something because you don't like it, and you're going to continue, I don't mind you saying it once, but if you're going to repeat it over and over and over, like it's something you're trying to convince me on. And for me, as long as Moxley's champion, the world title's picture's bleak, yeah, like, I think we all can agree that this title run for Moxley, best of intentions, horrible run. And the person I blame for that isn't even working in the company anymore as full-time. That's Bryan Danielson. Yes, it was Tony Khan who booked him, but feels like they don't have containers. Yeah, like, my opinion, if Danielson wouldn't have had to retire, TK felt like he always had to get a title for Danielson sometime, and it just good for the channel, right? Good for the brand. Now I'll get back to Gunther here in a second here, but the fact that Danielson had to get that title, they wanted to do it all in, then they scrunched a title run into 3 months the way they did. There's a bunch of matches that could have had a ton of build-up, and they just had quick, like Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam. That's the biggest example I have. And then the way they finished it with Moxley winning rather than trying to put Darby over anybody, which I'm figuring that'd probably be the way they want to do it more than anything. This show is turning out to be such a good show. So yeah, they're just going through the rundown of the card. And Gunther, yes, his matches feel important. His run doesn't feel important. That's the problem. They've literally just started to heat up that feud, and on Monday they did a great job of it. But there's no reason that title can't have the same feeling. That one realistically should have a little bit more feeling than what Cody and Cena has. But everybody knows what Cena involves to the company, what's at stake, blah, blah, blah. and we go from there. So, but yeah, both brands have some problems, right? Missed this earlier, but there was an ECW reference here, Dax. Hey, don't cash this check till Friday, Taz. Ha! I've heard that before. Life is great. But yeah, this year's WrestleMania build doesn't have me excited like last year. Yeah, no, it's. And we can talk about it later on, we can talk about during the wrestling section of the show later on, or the 2K25 where we got some matches to watch. But yeah, as it is before the main event, let me give you a rundown on what's going to be going on here over the next week on this channel, because a lot of weird things are going on here, because a lot of mishmash and running around. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here, whether you're watching on Twitch right now, our flagship station here, or you're watching over on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. If you're watching there, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps us get the word out about how much fun we're having here each and every Dynamite and Collision, except for last week when I got sick, but that's in the past. Let's talk about the future. Tomorrow morning, I announced it on our morning stream today during the Switch 2 build. I'm going to be starting Link's Awakening for Zelda here as probably the last game I'm going to be playing on the Switch 1 before the Switch 2 release. So we're going to start that up tomorrow morning. Stop by here, probably 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain is usually when I start my Thursdays. Might start a little earlier if I'm up and ready to go earlier than that, so we can get a good chunk of it in. No stream Friday. Saturday, we're going to be here with a 3-part show. AEW Collision Sidecast, followed by my predictions of AEW Dynasty. We're going to get that YouTube video ready to go. And then after that, we're going to have another double taping of WWE 2K25, my GM, which is going to involve the Go Home to King and Queen of the Ring, and then the King and the Queen of the Ring PLE, which it works differently this year, and I'm not sure how. So we're going to have some fun figuring that out. Sunday, I'm going to be here with our AEW Dynamite Sidecast starting about 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Mountain. 5 hours of wrestling and a lot of excitement going on, and we always have a ton of fun here during the pay-per-views. Monday is going to be a TBA. We're going to be doing MLB The Show on Monday. Not sure what time it's going to be on TBA. So, and yeah, then we'll be back on Wednesday for Dynamite and for well, we'll see, WWE 2K25, depending on what's going on. And there you go. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe. If you're on you make sure you subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, consider subscribing. Any money that we raise during the show will be part of the will be put back into the show, as I just bought a new capture card and I found out I had to buy another extension cable for it. But Ed, good to see you here. Popping in. Thank you for stopping in, saying hi. I know you guys got Marvel talk coming up here soon. Glad you're back at her again. AEW's been fun tonight. We got to see Jon Moxley hit a Death Rider on Will Nightingale. We found out we're going to get a bunch of the Owen Hart tournament matches on the pay-per-view. We got a semifinal potential in the Owen Hart tournament for Athena Mercedes. Athena's taking out Julia Hart in the quarters. As well as Harley versus Athena. The winners of those two matches are going to move on to the semis. And then we're also getting Kevin Knight versus Will Ospreay on Sunday, as well as part of the men's draw. Found out Jay White's going to be out for a considerable amount of time. He's going for surgery, unfortunately. I love the fact that the crowd is all still chanting his song. This crowd's tried, but it failed. It couldn't get through it. It couldn't get all the way through it. Damn it. All right, chat, what do you think? Is FTR turning on Cope at the pay-per-view? Or is it the other way around? Is Dax going to turn on both guys? I'd like to know what's on those seared or those sealed papers on his jacket. I'd like to know what it reads on there. Dynamite.
Is what I said back on the 26th of February when Colt took out Claudio. Remember that?
That's right, it was the concerto. Epic Revolution and Claudio Castagnoli just charged.
Think they're getting the belts. The trios aren't getting anything. Yeah.
Bryce Remsburg had not called for the bell yet.
Get them some. Well, here's the thing. Could there be a possibility that they have the turn and they have the Ops show up as the next contenders and they're the ones that get the titles off them? Because I'll be honest, if you want to do a trios that is going to do some of those titles, give it to the Ops. Hook gets a title. He's former champion anyway. Shibata's got the rep, and Joe, well, what Joe wants, Joe gets. Let's put it that way. But I do hope that Rated FTR gets the titles. This could be the final night, the death note for the Death Riders. And that very well could be the quote of the night. And I am definitely using that if that ends up being the case. That'll be the thumbnail for the day after YouTube video, the day after review. So yeah, that's something new. I'm also doing YouTube exclusive. If you guys don't know, I am doing the day after review. Because I've learned that when we do a lot of reviews, you do them at the time and you get over emotional about stuff. And then after you get a little bit of time to look at it and analyze and see what the fallout is backstage and all that, it actually gives you a different feel about what the actual show was like. So we're now starting to do day after reviews. So eventually I might have to look at getting a guest host to come in with me or a special guest to join me on those. The last one I did for Revolution took about half an hour. Nice little review. Give you all the thoughts about what I did. So we're going to start trying to do a little bit more of that kind of stuff too. Plus, I do have some other plans planned. I love the fan who's taping the match. He wants to, he wanted Cope to fist bump him. I'm like, dude, you're trying to take money out of his pocket. That's what I've always believed about the fans doing camera shots of the crowd, right? Because you know that video's going on the internet somehow, right? So. Triple tough like a steak, you know. You notice they're not advertising any of the other places now? That they're just advertising Prime. I wonder if their contract's up with Triller, with PPV.com and whatnot. Amazon might be the sole provider soon. Maybe starting at Double or Nothing. Not happy about it, but at the same time, having it in one source actually might be a good thing for them. Easier to keep track of numbers and set your revenues a little better. So I'll tell you right now, I would love to see a Double or Nothing and All In dual bundle for Triller. Just had another client ugh. I hate that one. I hate to be dependent on people for work. And that's the biggest thing with, and I understand saying that as I'm streaming right now, which, let's face it, when it comes to streaming revenue, it's all about people that come in, right? Thank goodness for Prime subs for everybody. But, no, I can understand the pain of being on a, any kind of sales like that. I remember taking a job at a lube place. Yes, I know. Throw the jokes in there all you want. I'll just throw those out right now for you. But, oil change place, lube place. And they always insisted on trying to upsell people, and it just drove me nuts. Like, it's all dependent on people wanting to buy stuff from you. If you're going to see success or you're going to see extra payment or anything. Man, I couldn't last. Because when I look at somebody and I say you really don't need that, but buy it anyway. As we hit probably our second last commercial break of the night, I'm assuming we're going to get 3 segments here. I'm sure Dax is going to do something stupid to Cash again tonight. But yeah, just looking at this pay-per-view, like everything that's popped in here now, and now we got these random... I love the fact that everybody complains that there's no storyline development in AEW, yet they just put matches in where they don't need story development in terms of the Owen Hart Cup matches. Because let's face it, you don't need those to have any development. Everybody's just looking for the world title. But realistically, I do hope that we get Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm at Texas. That would be so much fun for me. And then in terms of on the other side, I think they're pulling the trigger on Hangman again. The only thing that bothers me about that is they got that wild card going up against Hangman. And if it ends up being like a Josh Alexander or something like that, I don't see him losing in his very first match. But honestly, like, you could see Ospreay take it on. In terms of the money, in terms of the person who should have the title, Ospreay's the obvious pick. That's why he's got the 1-8 match in the draw against Kevin Knight. But Sutton just tells me the money match, if you want to do a money match at the pay-per-view, I know that they had that level of violence at All In, but to have Hangman and Swerve at All In and have it be a wrestling clinic versus a death match the way that it was, because this isn't about family violence. This isn't about infiltrating people's homes. This isn't about taking out seconds like Prince Nana. It's all about the world title, which I think would change the direction of the feud of the match. Just, yeah. There's no way he's throwing him on the floor. So they did put the tag titles. Okay, so this tag title match should be a lot better than the one they had last time. In terms of level of competition, I think Big Bill and Brian Keith are about the same. But they are a better team to take on Lashley and Benjamin than you see with than you saw with the Outriders, right? Or the Outrunners, sorry. Sorry, Chad, I'm not used to having to wake up at 5 a.m. for streaming in the morning, so... And this old man didn't go for a nap after, so, you know... Talking all day sometimes gets to you a little bit, so I just took a little quick second there. Bulldog from the top? Jesus. So STG, I actually stream the Nintendo Direct Live on my channel here, so that's a 7 a.m. start. And so a 7 a.m. start means I have to get up at 5 so that I can get some breakfast in me and get the coffee ready and get the setup going. Set days off, yes, today and tomorrow. I have Wednesdays and Thursdays off for my typical days. That's why you see the afternoon stream coming tomorrow. But I do have the pay-per-views booked off for AEW. So it gives me an opportunity just to enjoy the night. Then I don't have to worry about getting up at 5 a.m. after go to bed at midnight. You can tell Claudio's a little off if he has... He normally sets up for the sharpshooter after that. But he was a little dizzy himself at that point. Saturday, Sunday off. Well, the thing is, if you work in retail, that Saturday, Sunday is very rare. Unless your business is only up on Monday to Friday. Your busiest days of the week as retail are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Because Tuesdays are typically your cheaper day. Mondays are typically the first day everybody goes back to work. So they're usually just trying to set everything up for the week. Weekends of retail are always nuts. And Friday, everybody comes in to try to get everything for the week. Partner is a front-end assistant manager, days off for Sunday and Tuesday. Yeah. No, we try to set... That's one thing about my work that I like is the fact everybody has 2 days off in a row. There's your sharpshooter. And I say sharpshooter because it's not hooked tight. She worked a grocery chain here. When I was working for one of our local grocery chains, that what the assistant manager would do there too. It was actually part of the union rules. That company got sold out, so some staff might be working there, but it's a different company now that's running it, so... Uh-oh, look out. Oh, look out. Here we go. She formerly worked for Superstore, which is owned by law. Yeah. I used to work for Safeway, which is now owned by Sobeys. Or Safeway in States, so. Works for an Island. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, whenever I see the crossface, it just instantly comes to my mind. Yeah, it used to be great. I get. So we're getting Cash and Pac. So basically, they're running through the entire. So we ended up getting Dax and Yuta on Saturday. We got that. Okay. Tough Fight in the Crew. That the match that probably should be the pay-per-view match. Speedball and Jalistico. Let's go. As Copeland just died. Ishii's back. Team with Hobbs against Fletcher and Takeshita. And then Monet and Cameron versus Athena and Julia. So we're getting that all-star tag. 35-cent cab pops and say absolutely. Like, I'll tell you now, like, I do have the actual Pepsi here, but more often than not, I'll pick up the no-name cola. I do find that Loblaws is the cheapest one, though, right now, though, for pop. One thing I like about AEW, they don't waste stuff like that, right? No-name colas are there? Absolutely. No-name black cherries. What? Oh, there you go. No, I'm usually pretty bland out. I'll end up getting like an Orange Crust Slurpee here. Because Canada's where the Slurpee came from. Winnipeg is the hometown of the Slurpee. I like the brand names, but no shame in knowing it. Absolutely. I'll take Pepsi over Coke if I get the choice between the two. But yeah, no name is absolutely like for $2 cheaper. I'm not going to argue. $2 for a 12-pack. Sorry, let me clarify. Co-op has the best Slurpees. For me, it's Circle K because they have Orange Crush. Coke Zero best pop. I wouldn't argue that. I'll do regular Pepsi, but I'll do Coke Zero. Your Circle... Well, you know what? Most Circle Ks are. I just find the Slurpee machines work better. Ha! Look, oh my God, has crushed grape, which is the best. Also, she likes crushed orange and lime too. Yeah, crushed lime. Cope doing whatever is necessary at this point because he's been screwed over way too many times. So, and we are getting close to time here. So. There's your spear. That should finish it unless... Oh, there we go. One spear to clean finish. We don't have that too often with the Death Riders. Now, do we fade to black? I doubt it. I'm assuming Pac comes out to set up the match with Cash on Friday. Or no, we're going to fade to black. Did they have travel issues, maybe? I don't know. Also very underrated Sprite Slurpees. I get scared of those because one time somebody had a Slurpee machine set up and they ran out of Sprite syrup, but they didn't shut off the machine. We have an interview after the hour. Slurpee monster. Hey, that works.
Excuse me, guys. Swerve, do you have any other kind of...
Sorry, Renee. All due respect, I'm looking for your husband right now.
Civil had gone down. I just find it gets used so much that it just works less.
On the champ. We heard Strickland say that earlier tonight. And there's something going on with
Yeah, they're doing Hangman at the pay. They're doing Hangman and All In. Wow.
I said, I know.
Swerve just broke Hangman. Swerve just broke Hangman. Holy crap. Swerve just broke Hangman with one line. 2 words. And that's why we didn't find any of these guys. Ah, good old exploding glass.
You're looking for me. Hey, he found us. He found us. Bring it down to the ring. Bring it down.
Dragging him over that glass. That's always great. Watch Hangman protect him now. Hangman's the reason that Swerve wins. I thought we were actually going to finish on time for once. How foolish am I? How foolish am I don't know if you want to sell this on the last, like the way this is. Marita's face there, my God. Ricola bomb onto the glass? Well, when he turns over, there's going to be a dramatic finish there. Now they're just piecing out. So they're going to let Swerve turn around and show his back off as... oh my God! Did he just pull the Undertaker? Swerve, Moxley's like, what the hell? Surprised there's no blood there. Yeah, they shouldn't have shown Mox even before that, though. If they were trying to pull this off, they should have waited until Mox saw him back there. As we fade to black. Great episode tonight. Just hell of a way to set up a pay-per-view. Yes, we still have Saturday, but this is the last real day that you have a choice whether you're going to watch the show or not. Because let's face it, you set it up for Saturday. You try to do a go-home angle on a Saturday to set up for a Sunday. You usually have your Sundays planned already. So Wednesday's the last time you really get a solid choice to hook people for it. If you try to do it on Saturday, it's a little bit too late. You're going to get those few stragglers. They're going to be like, maybe I'll check out Collision and see if it's going to be worthwhile. But no, everything that went down tonight, I think was pretty solid. Pay-per-view matches are all there. You got those impromptu matches like Brody and Lance that turned out to be a decent match. Kevin Knight's going to be a freaking star here against Will Ospreay. That match might shock a lot of people. That match probably will shock a lot of people. We'll talk about it more on Saturday as I'm doing my preview show for AEW Dynasty coming up. So make sure you stop by on Saturday after Collision as I get my thoughts and predictions about what we're going to get going into the show. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up here for this part of the show. For those on Twitch, hang on here. We're going to bid adieu to our friends over on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef, we're going to be continuing on with some WWE 2K25. My GM mode, we're going into weeks 2 and 3 tonight as we work towards our first ever PLE on the new game. And I'm not sure how this works, so we're going to play it by ear, see if we can try and figure this out, and hopefully keep ourselves in first place like we are right now. So, but with that being said, everybody on YouTube, once again, thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already, and we will catch you back here on Saturday for AEW Collision ahead of AEW Dynasty. And everybody take care of yourselves, and we will see you all here Saturday night for some good old wrestling here with All Elite Wrestling. Take care, everybody.